National Assembly okays review of Ministry of Information and National Orientation 2025 budgetary allocation. Court upholds judgments affirming Julius Abure as Labour Party chairman.
The oil industry will be together to discuss issues affecting the oil industry.
Petroleum industry stakeholders review industry status to galvanize support and resolve emerging concerns. Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adigunloye. A crucial meeting has been held between the Joint Committee on Information and National Orientation and the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning with the Director General, Budget Office, on the recent rejection of the 2025 budgetary allocation to the Federal Ministry of Information by the two chambers. National Assembly correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports that after deliberations, the meeting went into an executive session where the National Assembly and the Budget Office agreed to review the Ministry of Information and National Orientation's 2025 budgets.
You know that more than 50% of Radio Nigeria stations are shut down. There are no more transmitting. It's either there is no power supply and they do not have generators to power these offices.
The person who is representing the people in the House of Reps should have a voice so that we can all give you what our people really critically need and you put it inside the budget. Not to sit down here, DG, and decide what will happen because there is money. I think the whole orientation of budgeting, DG budget needs to change.
The funding of MDAs across the Federation and MDAs also including the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation at present through our envelope budgeting system, and the size of the envelope that has been given to the MDAs is actually determined by the priorities and available resources available. And in this same method, the MDAs, each MDA is expected to allocate resources to take care of all their program projects and within the limit of their envelope ceiling.
Inspector General of Police Kayode Igbetokun has clarified that the budget presentation of the Nigeria Police Force at the 2025 Budget Defense Session was a summary of the same figures already contained in the proposed budget for the force. The IGP made the clarification while addressing the drama that unfolded during the defense session. He emphasized that persistent challenges facing the police in fulfilling its constitutional mandate. The IGP noted that inadequate financing, the restrictive envelope budgetary system, and delays in the release of allocated funds continue to hinder effective operations of the force.
Figures are the same, the facts are the same, nothing is different. Maybe because it is a summary, the language of presentation can be different. The delay in fund releases and sometimes incomplete releases of funds appropriated to the police. Last year, we fought to take police out of the envelope budgetary system. We couldn't achieve that, but thanks to Mr. President, who came to our aid in the course of running the year. Otherwise, we won't have been able to achieve all the things that you see us achieving in 2024.
The IGP also highlighted the critical need for a more flexible and timely funding mechanism to enable the police to address pressing security concerns across the nation. He noted that while the force strives to maintain law and order, financial limitations remain a significant setback in achieving optimal performance. President Bola Tinubu commends the Nigeria Governors Forum for unanimously endorsing the 4 tax reform bills currently under consideration by the National Assembly. The president lauded the governors for their bold leadership and commitment to fostering unity among leaders nationwide, transcending regional, ethnic and political barriers to advance Nigeria's development. A statement from Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, says Thursday's productive consultation between the Nigeria Governors Forum and the Presidential Committee on Tax and Fiscal Policy is a commendable example of cooperation between the federal and state governments. The President extends special commendations to the Chairman of the Governors Forum, Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, for successfully galvanizing support among his peers for these transformative tax bills to rejuvenate the national economy and enhance Nigeria's investment climate. A group, Growth and Development of Northern Nigeria, has resolved to stand by the position taken by the Nigeria Governors Forum on the outcome of state governors' national consultations and engagements with the Presidential Tax Reform Committee. A statement by the Acting Secretary, Public Policy Advocacy Unit of the group, Haruna Buhari, assures the Nigeria Governors Forum that the group will continue to stand by them on the need by the federal government to soften down on the proposed tax reform bills. Buhari indicates that it is not the scaling up of rates that will enhance the efficiency of the revenue inflow, but lowering these rates at this very difficult time and developing user-friendly platforms that make the payments processes easier and less cumbersome that will drive growth in overall revenue inflow into the Treasury. Therefore, GDNN is calling on all Nigerians to support the leadership of governors, and the group commends the recent announcements of Israel-Hamas peace deal led by the state of Qatar after over a year of engagement in lethal hostilities. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has reaffirmed Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party, upholding its earlier verdict in November 2024. The appellate court held that its verdict, which recognized Abure as national chairman, subsisted and has not been set aside by any court. A 3-man panel of justices, led by Justice Hamma Barka, made the declaration while delivering judgments in 2 separate appeals filed by caretaker committee chairman of the party and the Independent National Electoral Commission. The appellate courts in the 2 separate appeals held that it did not delve into the issue of the leadership of the Labour Party because issues outside jurisdiction amounts to a nullity. The National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, has embarked on a joint investigation to the site of the gas leak at Buguma Well 8 in Rivers State, operated by the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited, for an on-the-spot assessment. Minad Daniels reports.
Leading a team of stakeholders made up of NNPCL, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, the Rivers State Ministry of Environment, and the community representatives to the new Calabar River between Bukuma communities in Asari Toro local government area of Rivers State. The Director General, National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSDRA, Chukwuemeka Nwoke, observed, amongst other environmental concerns, 2 vegetation in the illegal hoses connected to the wellhead, gas emission, among other things.
Well, I'm glad to see for myself. I also report to the operators. As we go back here, we ensure that the operators do the necessary.
Earlier NOSRA received reports of fire incident from the wellhead due to excessive gas release. The agency is, however, monitoring mitigation processes and response actions deployed for maximum effect.
Our primary concern is how to arrest this fire and ensure that we arrest the environment.
Investigation revealed that the outbreak was caused by suspected activities of pipeline vandals. The team directed the NMPCL to take immediate steps to repair the affected wellhead as well as reinforce its surveillance apparatus to forestall reoccurrence. In Abuja, Minna Daniels, NTA News.
The Petroleum Industry Stakeholders Forum is important for critical stakeholders in oil and gas to review the status of the industry, formulate policies, galvanize industry support, and resolve emerging concerns. Minister of State Petroleum Resources Heineken Lokpobiri said the forum will aid speedy resolution of issues by the policymaking and regulatory bodies, thereby helping to mitigate disputes and deepen cooperation among stakeholders. Lydia Sampson reports.
Convened by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, industry players say the forum, which held behind closed doors, will consolidate ongoing efforts to drive business growth and stimulate much-needed investment in the sector.
The real issue is to bring, a forum, to create a forum where the leadership of the oil industry will be together to discuss issues affecting the oil industry. Just like you have the Bankers Committee, you have, the Capital Market Committee that sits from time to time to address issues concerning those sectors. That's essentially, the whole issue,
The industry players are on the same page with the minister that the forum is chronicling a new approach to the sector.
The key takeaway is a great first start, and I hope, and I'm almost sure, that we will continue this to truly make this whole industry, the whole industry from upstream, midstream and downstream, to great benefit of Nigerians.
We are independent petroleum marketers, and shortchanging anybody is not part of our policy. We normally sell 1 liter as 1 liter. We don't shortchange anybody. Remember that we are indigenous Nigerians marketers, and we help our brothers.
The forum, which attracted captains of industry across the country, is expected to hold regularly as scheduled by the key players. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The federal government has planned to create 10 million direct jobs through the Nigerian Youth Economic Engagement and De-Radicalization Program. This is in line with the ongoing intervention by the Tinubu administration to achieve active youth economic participation and empower them to become agents and catalysts for national security, wealth creation, and sustainable economic development. Target's beneficiaries will be trained in core areas of agriculture, sports, entertainment, and technology.
Nigerian youth are the backbone of our society. With their energy, with our creativity, with our courage, we hold the key of this nation's development. However, many of the young people facing significant challenges such as unemployment and a lot of things that we call poverty. This program is seeking transforming all these challenges into opportunities.
There is hunger, there is unemployment, but we have land, 84 million hectares, 23 million in use, 57 million unused. We have the youth strength, the youth energy, the youth vigor. And the youth are the ones saying no food, hunger protest, economic hardship. We are saying the government is ready to give you this platform which we have brought now. Mark it, there shall be no protest against government.
Most of the population I see on the street are young people, very energetic, very willing to work, but no work. So this project is going to address unemployment and is going to address food security.
The formal unveiling of the Pro-Youth Empowerment Initiative was attended by stakeholders across public and private sectors, including traditional and religious institutions. You're watching the News Desk at 6 on NTA News 24. More reports in a moment. Stay with us.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
You're welcome back. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, has strengthened its collaboration with one of Nigeria's leading health maintenance organizations to enhance the health and well-being of both its officers and local communities. This initiative is part of the Corps' efforts to improve grassroots security strategies and strengthen community support in combating crime. The Commandant General, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, represented by the Assistant Commandant General, highlighted the positive impact of the partnership with United Healthcare International, emphasizing the Corps' commitment to public welfare.
It's new all the villages around Lamiga, so they can benefit from free medical tests, free eye test, free drugs, and free eyeglasses. And also, I want to appreciate our HMO, our partners, United Healthcare, for always coming to support us anytime we have a special medical outreach like this.
The medical outreach will be carried out in various communities across Nigeria, with the first phase targeting Laminga local government area in Nasarawa State. Female legal practitioners and aspirants through the LEX initiative have created a vision board with the theme Shaping the Future for inclusive advocacy with the aim of canvassing for gender equity for women and vulnerable groups. Daniel Adiriye tells us more.
They take you to one of these area codes and they remand you, and then the next thing you'll be there for 3 months, 4 months.
Beauty and brains, an expression used mostly to describe extraordinary women. But this event is not to celebrate just the extra. Rather, it is to canvass for the rights of the ordinary woman and girl child.
You might bring the legal intervention, but you are not able to help them heal and move on. So what we're doing here today is to build like a bridge for mental health and gender justice. Train these female lawyers to understand what it means to provide these services, as well as having a more trauma-informed care approach towards it.
We need to force the equity to happen. You need to say that in every organization, in every political position, if there are going to be 5 seats, make sure that at least half of it is for women.
Aisha is fresh out of law school and has big dreams for the future. For her, this symposium has further opened her mind's eye to realities in the legal profession, and she's now better prepared to face it.
Personally, I don't buy the idea of going to courts also, so I would like to go through that part, the networking, the background work that needs to be done, basically.
One thing I've learned here is the power of support groups, strategic partnership, and that's one thing that I haven't been doing. With this now, I've not seen the power of networking.
Where we are in Nigeria is as a result of less women representatives in governance and in politics. By the time we have a good number of women representing us in all the spheres of governance, you will see a drastic change in Nigeria.
The symposium aims to strengthen ties and relationships among female legal practitioners. The symposium aims to strengthen ties and relationships among female legal practitioners. In Abuja, Daniel Adiriye, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Here's a recap of our top stories. National Assembly okays review of Ministry of Information and National Orientation 2025 budgetary allocation. Appeal Court upholds judgments affirming Julius Abure as Labour Party chairman.
The oil industry will be together to discuss issues affecting the oil industry.
Petroleum industry stakeholders review industry status to galvanize support and resolve emerging concerns. Islamic clerics emphasize that building of mosques should not just create a place of prayer, but a platform for a strong and robust bond between the whole community, while serving as a spiritual guidance for Allah's pleasure. This was at the official observance of the first Jumat service of the organization of Tadhumul Muslimin in Abuja. Tokbe Alabi reports.
Mosques are critical to Islamic life. They serve as avenue for prayers, events during Islam's holiest month of Ramadan, and centers for education, information, and dispute resolution with the Imam as the religious leader. In Islam, the significance of building mosques transcends physical structures, as masjid symbolizes unity, devotion, and strength of community. As such, when a Muslim builds a masjid, he is contributing to the establishment of a house of Allah, which is a noble and righteous deed in Islam. The importance of building mosques for the sake of Allah, as well as the proper maintenance and administration, came to the fore at the official observance of the first Jum'at service of the organization of Tadhumul Muslimin. In his sermon, Chairman, Committee of FCT Imam Initiatives, Sheikh Tajuddin Bello Adigun emphasized the essence of engaging in acts of virtues aimed at seeking the pleasure of Allah.
You pray, you give zakat, you discuss affairs of the Muslim Ummah, whether far or close. Discharge your responsibilities, assist other Ummah, congratulate one another, condole one another. All these are activities of the mosque.
After the Jum'at prayer, it was time to decorate the resident Imam with a call on him to focus on his core responsibility of guiding the community.
If you want to secure your paradise, you can secure it in many ways. One of it is to build the mosque of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Is to have a Muslim Ummah, unity of Muslim Ummah, should come here together, feel as one. And when they started for this, we are looking at this, we will be complete in time. And by the grace of God and the effort that the Urban Center put, they were able to complete the mosque.
Building of mosques remain a cardinal virtue traced to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which was his first project upon migrating from Mecca to Medina, being a humble manner for Muslims to recreate natural divine presence on earth. In Abuja, Tokwe Alabi, NTA News.
Well, that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thank you for your time. I am Dennis Adigun Louis.